Your friend just left his job after 5 years, expected 125,000 dirhams in gratuity. But you know what he got? 67,000. What happened? Hello fellow Arbab, it's time to boss your money. I've been working in finance and auditing for almost 2 decades, and a small part of that job involved calculating gratuity either to account or to audit. Plus I've mentioned gratuity quite a bit in my recent videos. So I thought it's important to actually break down how it's calculated, because most people have no idea if they are being shortchanged. Because here's the thing. Your gratuity calculation depends on a couple of things most people get wrong. Get any of these wrong and you could lose tens of thousands of dirhams. By the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to calculate gratuity and how to spot if your company is trying to pull a fast one. Gratuity is your end of service benefit. It is legally mandated by UAE labor law. Think of it as one final bonus that your employer pays you when you leave. You could spend it or put it towards investment corpus. You know what most do and what I'd recommend. So let's not even get into that. Here are some of the key things that you should know. It's calculated based on basic salary, not your total package. And we'll get into this in more detail. It accumulates every year you work. You get it when you leave, whether you resign or get terminated. And it's tax-free in the UAE. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. There are so many ways this gets miscalculated, intentionally or accidentally. And most people have no idea what they're actually owed. So let me show you. First, you need to know what type of contract you're on. In UAE, there were two main types of contracts: limited and unlimited. Limited is when you have a fixed start date and a fixed end date to your contract. Unlimited is when you have a start date, but your end date is undefined. Unlimited contracts have now been phased out. Most of the contracts, and as far as I know, all of the contracts are only limited contracts right now. I believe this started from 2022. You are most likely on a limited contract. But if you're not sure and want to check it out for yourself, you'll find this on your labor contract. If you don't have a copy of your labor contract, you can find it on the More website, or you can just check with your HR. Okay, so gratuity is calculated on your basic salary only, not your total package. What counts is your basic salary, the line that actually says basic on your payslip or your offer letter. What does not count is things like your housing allowance, transportation allowance, car allowance, phone allowance, bonus, commission, literally anything else. For example, your job offer says a total package of 20,000 per month. But your contract breakdown is basic of 10,000, housing 6,000, transport 2,000 and others 2,000. Gratuity is calculated on 10,000, not on 20,000. This is legal. This is normal. This is how it's supposed to work. And this is exactly why you need to pay attention to your basic salary when negotiating offers. Here's a pro tip for you. When negotiating a new job, try to get as much loaded into basic as possible. A 15,000 basic plus 5,000 allowance is way better for gratuity than 10,000 basic plus 10,000 allowance, even though the total package is the same. But let's get into the actual math. For all new contracts or limited contracts, from when you start to your first year, if you quit or get terminated or resign, you are not entitled to any gratuity. If you've worked between 1 to 5 years, you're entitled to 21 days of basic salary for each year. After year 5, you're entitled to 30 days of basic salary for each year after the 5th year. Here's the basic formula. Calculate your daily wage. This would be your monthly wage times 12. So that would be your annual wage divided by 365 days. That will give you your wage per day. Your basic salary wage per day. Let's say your basic salary is 10,000 dirhams. Your daily wage would be 10,000 times 12, so 120,000 divided by 365, which gives you 328.77 dirhams per day. Now, if you worked 7 years, Your first 5 years would be 5 years times 21 days times your daily wage, which is 328. That would leave you with 34,520 dirhams and 85 fils. For the next 2 years, which is year 6 and year 7, it would be 2 years times 30 days times 328.77 dirhams per day, which would leave you with 19,726.2 dirhams, which would result in your total gratuity being that 34,000 plus the 19,000, which is 54,247.05. Now keep in mind, allow some flexibility on the final amount, maybe about 5%. This is because some people calculate daily wages by dividing annual basic pay by 365, which is what we just did and got 328 dirhams per day. But I've also seen others calculate your basic salary divided by 30 days per month, which means 10,000 dirhams straight divided by 30 days per month. So that would result in your daily wage being 333 dirhams and 33 fils. This is normal. As I said, I've seen it done both ways. For unlimited contracts, I know most are not on this, but you should still know this. If you complete the contract term, same calculation as limited. If you resign before the contract ends, in less than 1 year, you don't get any gratuity. If you resign between 1 to 3 years, you get 1/3 of your full gratuity. If you resign between the 3rd and 5th year, you get 2/3 of your total gratuity. 5 years or more, you get your entire gratuity. If you're terminated before your contract ends, you get full gratuity due to you based on the number of years served. Now, you should also know that there is a maximum cap on how much gratuity can be paid to one employee. And that cap is that your gratuity cannot exceed 2 years worth of wages. So if your basic is 10,000 per month, but total monthly salary is 20,000 per month, your maximum gratuity cannot exceed 20,000 into 24 months, which is 480,000 dirhams. And it does not matter how many years you work. This usually only matters if you've been with a company for a really long time and or basic pay is a very high percent of your total take-home pay. Here are some scenarios you should think about. You got a raise and gratuity is calculated based on your last and final basic salary. If you started at 8,000 dirhams per month as basic and ended your time at the same company at 15,000 dirhams a month basic after 7 years or so, your entire gratuity is calculated on 15,000. This is good news. Your early years got retroactively calculated at your current higher salary. Scenario 2 is that you don't need to complete a full year. If you worked 7 years and 4 months, you get 7 full years calculated plus for the 4 months worth of gratuity for the 8th year. It's prorated. Don't let companies tell you it rounds down. Scenario 3. What if you're terminated? Not for serious misconduct. In this case, you get full gratuity, whatever is due to you. If you're terminated for serious misconduct like stealing or violence or anything else like that, you get zero gratuity. But misconduct has to be proven and serious, not just performance issues. Scenario 4 is if you took unpaid leave. Those days get deducted from your service calculation. If you took 3 months unpaid leave over 5 years, your calculation for gratuity is treated as it is 4 years and 9 months of service. Scenario 5. Some companies put you on notice period but tell you not to come to work. You are still employed. You're still getting paid. Still accumulating gratuity. Don't let them shortchange you by calculating gratuity from your last working day. It's your last employed day that matters. So how to protect yourself? Know your numbers right now. Go calculate your expected gratuity using the formula I showed you. Write it down. Get it in writing when you resign or get terminated. Ask your HR for the gratuity calculation in writing before you sign anything. Review it carefully. Is the basic salary correct? Is the service duration correct? Is the formula correct? The third thing is that you don't want to sign until you're sure. They'll pressure you into signing the clearance forms quickly. If the number looks wrong, ask questions and ask for a breakdown. Do not be in a hurry. Number four, use online calculators. It's free. You'll find it on DDA's website, Gulf News, and many other calculators. Even those calculators' numbers don't match up, by the way. Just like what I mentioned earlier, there will be always a small difference, but that's okay. Make sure everything is in the same ballpark figure. Do your own personal calculations and then cross check it with these calculators. Step 5, get a salary certificate. Before you leave, get that certificate from HR showing your complete employment history, your salary progression. This is your proof if there ever is a dispute. Next, if your employer refuses to pay or calculates it wrong, you might want to consider lodging a complaint with Ministry of Labor. They take this quite seriously. You don't need a lawyer for initial complaints, and More will investigate and mediate. Here's why this matters for your financial planning. Gratuity is often one of your largest lump sum payments. For someone working 10 years at 15,000 dirhams basic, we are talking about 150,000 to 200,000 dirhams just in gratuity. That's life changing money. It could be your down payment to your property, your start a business fund, your move back home cushion, 2 years of living expenses if you need time to hunt for a job, or a sweet boost to your retirement corpus. But only if you get what you're actually owed. I've seen too many people accept whatever HR tells them without questioning. They leave 20 to 50,000 dirhams on the table just because they didn't know better. Don't be that person. Calculate your gratuity. Know your number. Verify the calculation. Get it in writing. This is part of your compensation. You earned it. Don't let it slip away. That's gratuity. But now watch this video on retirement planning and why you should not depend on gratuity for your long-term goals. Drop a comment if you've had gratuity issues or if your company tried to shortchange you. Let's all learn from each other here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yalla Arbab. Now go boss your money.